This is Morning Crossfire. Crossfire on 95.1 Nigeria Info.
About the biggest conversations made of trustworthy ideas passionately connected to everyone. Let's talk on Nigeria Info 95.1 Abuja.
My name is Elder Emma Okoro. I'm interested in rebuilding my nation, and so I have to join the beginning of cleaning of the environment. They got a key environment.
Thank you for staying tuned to Nigeria Info 95.1 Abuja. 6 minutes past 8 o'clock right here. Hope that you are having a great start to your morning. Let's move on to another conversation right now, and we'll be focusing on the nomination of ex-governors as ministers in this new administration. Various persons have gone on to share their thoughts, reservations, and worries as to what this could mean for Nigeria and Nigerians. And I've got a guest right here with me. And Sikak Fineface, he's a public affairs analyst, and together we'll go through your thoughts on what you think would be the way forward with ex-governors if eventually confirmed. Now, we know the first list had 4 governors, and then batch B, I like to call it batch B because it's giving admission vibes, has about 5 governors. So altogether, 9 ex-governors making the list. Let's get your initial thoughts on this. What does this mean for you?
I think for me, it's a good thing because basically it's all about the progress of Nigeria and all that. But then, if you look at the list, I mean, we've had people who's been in government for years now, and so some Nigerians are asking this question: is it that we do not have other Nigerians that are capable of delivering?
Yes.
Why must it have to be the same people who's been around the corridors of power? And I think that's also leaves a whole lot of unanswered questions on the minds of some of Nigerians.
But let's go back to the roles some of these governors played during their tenure as governors, what they did differently, and how their experience would be brought into them being ministers of various ministries. Now, I don't know if there's anything like juicy ministries, because we have juicy committees, but now we know that that's not a thing based on what the Senate President and House of Reps members are saying. But do we have juicy ministries? And if we do, what are some of these ministries, and how would these ex-governors, either were to find themselves in any of these, be able to bring their wealth of experience, but also looking at what they were able to achieve in their various states? I mean, if you couldn't achieve anything in maybe 4 years or 8 years, what is to say that you would do anything different if you were to be brought in as a minister?
Well, I think for me, we actually have ministries that one could consider to be juicy. I mean, you talk about, for instance, petroleum, for instance. Well, we know, like if you look at the last dispensation, the president was actually the minister of petroleum, unlike the days of Goodluck Jonathan when we had the likes of Alison and all that. But then the Ministry of Petroleum somehow can be said to be juicy. But then if you consider what's been going on in that sector, it's not just going to be like like a juicy ministry. There's a whole lot of work.
It'll be really tasking for whoever takes
of course,
over.
whoever takes over. And then, but if you look at, for instance, in terms of Ministry of Works, you'd want to consider someone like Governor Nyesom Wike, former governor of Rivers State, because, I mean, look at the things he did in Rivers State. Yeah, some people, there have been complaints that, he wasn't able to create jobs and all that, but look at the infrastructure, look at the road network, look at certain, I mean, he built the law school in Rivers State, for instance. I mean, we've seen a whole lot of this. A few days ago, there were pictures trending of the NYSC camp in Rivers State, and it was said to be one of the best, if not the best in the nation. So you think about someone like Nyesom Wike, because he's been a shining light. He was a two-time chairman of Abbah local government in Rivers State. I'm now trying to let you know that Wike, for instance...
No, but why is his name the first to always come up when this conversation...
because if you look at his pedigree and his antecedents, for instance, I mean, he's been one man who's actually delivered. And then apart from his delivery, he's also been one man who's been around the news for a long time.
There's been a bit of controversy about his nomination because he's from a different party, from the PDP. And there's that worry that, why would you bring someone like him? And, in the past, he allegedly made statements about not wanting to play second fiddle, not wanting to be minister. But then, following his screening, he mentioned that the president would not regret nominating him as a minister.
Because some Nigerians are also saying, is it the same Wike that actually said he doesn't want to be running mate to maybe Atiku Abubakar and all that in the PDP, and now they feel like he's now stepping down to the position of the minister. But like I said, if you look at Wike, for instance, he was a two-time chairman of Obiakpo. From there, he was chief of staff to the former governor Rotimi Amechi. And then he became, a minister of state for education from July 14, 2011. And even at that time, he also became the acting minister because the minister then was sacked. And if you look at his growth politically, I think he's been one of the, if you want to consider him a force, I mean, he defeated Dakoko Peter side of the APC back then in 2015, and then became the governor of Rivers State. And when he became governor, I mean, look at, the infrastructural development in Rivers State and all that. But I think the whole drama about Wike started when we saw the G5. And then that alone, I think the G5 overshadowed the whole campaign process of the PDP because they were asking that the chairman of the PDP, then Iyochayu, should step down. And it was spearheaded by Wike. But then reports also came out that Wike was also the one who nominated Iyochayu as chairman. So that whole drama played out. And then we saw that some members of the G5 decided to take different routes in terms of who they were going to support during the elections. And somehow, things now played out that Nyesom Wike was actually, maybe working
for the opposition.
And then certain members of the PDP didn't really find this funny.
But let's move away from him, because he tends to take over the conversation half the time. Let's move on to other governors. There's 9 of them.
Okay, so we have Governor Matawali, and then there were reports
that's Bello Matawali of Zamfara State.
Yes, of Zamfara. He was allegedly said that he's being investigated for 7 billion naira fraud by the EFCC. So questions have been raised. In fact, after he handed over, there were reports that he made away with some of the government vehicles. The new governor actually, said this, and then they went all in and took the vehicles. There was a way things played out, and I think the vehicles had to be returned to him and all that. So if you look at him, considering the job he did in Zamfara State, for instance, people are beginning to ask questions. How did he find his way into that list? I mean, considering that he had issues, there's a pending case with the EFCC. He's being investigated as well. So that alone has raised questions. And Nigerians...
So with that, which is, questioning his being able to deliver on that position, what would you say are some of the qualities required of ex-governors to be suitable for, or anyone at all, but then we're talking about ex-governors, focusing on them right now, because the worry would be if you were unable to deliver your state, if you're unable to improve what they had going in their various states, which they were in charge of for a long time, how would they be able to achieve anything? So what qualifications do you think the president was looking out for that he went on to pick these people?
Well, I wouldn't really say it's about qualification. I think first of all,
is it about compensation?
It's about loyalty.
Okay.
Your loyalty to the party and to maybe the presidential ambition of Mr. President. I mean, some of these people worked tirelessly to ensure. I mean, I spoke about some Wike here doing the PDP, but you saw how he delivered. I mean, I think some time ago we saw a video where the president visited Rivers State, and a former governor came out to brag that, I mean, if not for Wike, they wouldn't have been able to win in Rivers State. I mean, so that clearly shows that, look, it's about, just repaying loyalty. Some of those who actually worked tirelessly to ensure that his candidacy, was able to see the light of day. So I wouldn't really say it's based on performance, because if you look at some of these people, I mean, I just spoke about Matawale now. I mean, he has a pending issue, a pending case with the EFCC. So how do you explain to me that a man that has such an issue would still be able to make it to the position of the minister in Nigeria? So, and then if you look at some of the governors, if you look at their track records, how were they able to deliver and all that, I think it's just you would only be able to pick out a few. Like I spoke about in some Wike, I'll also talk about Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State. I mean, look at the infrastructure in Ebonyi State. He even built an airport in Ebonyi State. I know so many people may argue that, okay, I mean, up till now, since it was commissioned, flights have not been operating there. But then, I mean, he was able to build some of this infrastructure. So I'll talk about the likes of Nyesom Wike, Dave Umahi and all that. But if you talk about the likes of Lalong of Plateau State, yes, so many people. But then if you look at it, he was part of the presidential campaign council. So it looks more like it's a reward. So for me, for some of them, it's not just about delivery. It's just maybe a compensation.
But so should such positions be a reward system for those who worked hard, who supposedly worked hard for the emergence of this administration? I mean, for these positions, you would assume the competence will play a major role. You should be trustworthy. You should be accountable for whatever it is that is put into your hands, ensuring that you're able to deliver. Because right now, Nigeria is in a dire situation, and we need people who are credible enough, who Nigerians can trust. We were promised by the president that it wouldn't be business as usual. We would see things differently. And a handful of people have gone on to state that the president is a listening president and he would only work with those who are able to deliver. But right now, those who are being selected or appointed or nominated, rather, as ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria are not necessarily people that a handful trust. And there's this, what exactly are you doing? Are you towing the same line as the former president, or are you doing this because you feel you'll be able to keep these people in check and ensure that they deliver on this job?
And
also, let's bring it back again to the situation where we've seen ex-governors not being questioned. They're told to take a bow and go after they're done introducing themselves. So there's that worry that let's hear from them and be able to hold them accountable to their word, but that's not happening.
I think I was here on this platform a few weeks back and I told you that the screening process would just be a walkover, more like
even though we're promised that
yes, more
it was
like
going
a
to be
ceremonial thing, and that's what played out. And then some Nigerians are saying, look, for instance, for the Senate president, that people feel like he has a way of trying to just save these people from questions and all that. And then some Nigerians are also saying senators from the opposition, that one would have expected that they were going to ask vital questions. I mean, you're not becoming a minister to just go and play. Like you said, the country is in a dicey situation where we need people who have the experience and the knowledge to be able to fix Nigeria. But the way it's been, I'll take your mind back to the previous administration, 8 years under the APC, for instance. I mean, we saw a whole lot of things that played out. We saw ministers occupy position who couldn't really deliver. But Nigeria is in their need of people who would be able to deliver. But the problem is now, there's a word out there among Nigerians that we just keep recycling the same people and then we keep on expecting different results. And it's impossible. I mean, look at some of these people. Like I said, I spoke about Nyesom Wike. He started as a local government chairman, became chief of staff, became minister for state, became acting minister, became governor. So it means that probably for 25 or so, he's been in the corridors of power. We're trying to say we do not have other capable in Rivers State. That's the question. Some of the members of the APC, even in Rivers, are basically not really excited because they feel like, look, he's from the opposition. I also understand that Mr. President wants to run government of national national unity. And we saw Olusegun Obasanjo did that in 1999 when he appointed the late Bola, who was a member of the Action Alliance. So I kind of understand where Mr. Send is coming from. Though some Nigerians are also that look, he's simply trying to repay Wike for his duty concerning his ambition and all that. But then I think moving forward, we need to think of appointing people that have interests of Nigeria and who would want to come in and actually work, because you felt like your campaign process and all that. We want whose loyalty will be to Nigerians.
We're live on YouTube, Facebook at Nigeria Info. Just so you can go on there and join the conversation right now. At Tule Amerson says the system keeps rewarding political class. Why ask nominees to take on go when actually he or she is to be screened properly? I thought this new will throw up new credible names, but the reverse is what we are seeing. Ribadu blamed the previous administration woes of this government, but he forgot that Tinubu promised you where Buhari stopped. And Dr. Mrs. Umma Ole from Owerri says, why recycle politicians and ex-governors who have done well in their states? This is unacceptable. We expected this of technocrats and professionals who are competent and credible to help bring Nigeria out of the quagmire we have found ourselves in. But with this continuity continues, I doubt. I am not trying pessimistic, but we really need Nigeria to move forward and not running in circles. Nigeria expected cutting down the cost of government, and this government is raising it. About that, there's about 47. That's a lot of people think. But you can join the conversation by sending it to 08099930137. We're speaking on the nomination of governors as ministers. And your general thought, do you think it's a good idea, seeing that then we're able to deliver the estates, the gov well, and you just like to see what to do if they are put in charge of certain ministries? Maybe they're able to bring down to it and cause a transformation in Nigeria, because that is what we are looking for. But some would also argue that there are other people who can also do the same. Ex-governors should be allowed to retire, take a break, refresh, and come back much later when they're able to, when they feel best, because 8 years or 4 years as it be is not such a, you need to go relax. It's a lot of back-to-back, and you need to go re-energize, revitalize, and in a time come back and be able to do better than you would have done if you were elected right after you were done with a tenure. The phone lines are open for you. We'll get as soon as we come back from the. But you can watch right now on YouTube and Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel at Nigeria Info Abuja. Click the subscribe button. Don't forget to click the so that you get notified when it is that are streaming live. Break right now. Our guest is still here.
My name is Abbah Okoro. I'm interested in rebuilding my nation, and so I have to join the beginning of cleaning of the environment. The Gariki environment here is totally filthy and unhealthy for our people. So when Mayor Fortune decided that Abuja should come out, I decided to join because it's for the good of our people, our children, our wives, and our families. That's why I'm part of this group, so that I'll be part of those who have started the journey to rebuild Nigeria.
Doing well. My name is Fortune. I'm the mayor of the city, and I am excited about this initiative. I believe it's going to be a one. This is the first of many. We are coming to your area very soon. So we expect you to come out. We expect you to put your hands on the plow. It's high time we stop complaining. Let's get something done. If government is refusing to do it, or they are overwhelmed because they can't do everything, let's do what we can do, and then we hold them accountable for the rest. I think that's what this is about. It's not about politics, not about anybody. It's about people coming out to do what they believe they can do to help the society and the environment at large. That's the trust for us, and that is why we are here. I'm excited, and I thank you for joining us. Thank you so much.
Nothing breaks news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I do it every morning on Morning Crossfire, 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 95.1. I'm MD Abbah. Join the biggest conversation around national politics every day in a way truly full of passion, and yes, covers the biggest politics and stories that matter to you. See, have all the reasons to find out what on Nigeria and get good for them. Let's talk. That's the way to go, even this morning.
My name is Kimberly Nwaku. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring the big story conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Facts Show. Love to get your opinion on lectures, but the facts you cannot dispute. Here, Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.
My name is Elder Emma Okoro. I'm interested in rebuilding my nation. And so I have to join the beginning of cleaning of the environment. The Gariki environment here is totally filthy and unhealthy for people. So when Mayor Fortune decided that Abuja should come out, I decided to join because it's for the good of our people, our children, our wives, and our families. That's why I'm part of this group, so that I'll be part of those who have started the journey to rebuild Nigeria.
Wondering, well, my name is Fortune. I'm the mayor of the city, and I am excited about this initiative. I believe it's going to be a big one. This is the first of many. We are coming to our area very soon. So we expect you to come out. We expect you to put your hands on the plow. It's high time we stop complaining. Let's get something done. If the government is refusing to do it, or they are overwhelmed because they can't do everything, let's do what we can do, and then we hold them accountable for the rest. I think that's what this is about. It's about politics, not about anybody. It's about people coming out to do what they believe they can do to help their society and the environment at large. That's the thrust for us, and that's why we are here. I'm excited, and I thank you for joining us. Thank you so much.
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I do it every day on Morning Crossfire from 5 to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 95.1. I'm Abbah. Join the biggest conversation around the national politics every day. Whether it's full of passion, and yes, covers the biggest politics, the stories that matter to you. See, have all the reasons to find out what's in Nigeria and be a bit differently. Let's talk. That's the way to go, even this morning.
My name is Kimberly Nwaku. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest story conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Facts Show. I love to get your opinion on lectures, but the facts you cannot dispute. Here, Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.
My name is Elder Emma Okoro. I'm interested in rebuilding my nation, and so I have to join the beginning of cleaning of the environment. The Gariki environment here is totally filthy and unhealthy for our people. So when Mayor Fortune decided that Abuja should come out, I decided to join because it's for the good of our people, our children, our wives, and our families.
Thank you for staying tuned. 8:30, we're talking about ex-governors as ministers. My names. out of 47 who are ex-governor, and the concern is why bring in them before who have been in government for a long time to trying out new hands as promised. No old in with the new, trying to approach ensuring that Nigeria gets to where we hope it gets to with this new administration. You can call in conversation right now 0700 510000 and 08095974869. WhatsApp it is 08099930137. Do you feel that ex-government will make any difference, or would it be business as usual? Would they be able to influence ministers who are new to the job to ensure they all work together and achieve what the president is hoping in Nigeria? Because with Nigeria, let's get to thoughts right now. Good morning.
Good morning once again.
Welcome.
Agaba one.
No,
good morning to our guest, Mr. Kak. Mr. Nsekak, let me with you. Wait, Erufai do you wait now? Erufai was the DPE, was the minister, most uncommon, the most productive minister of FCT ever, and the best governor democratically elected Kaduna State ever had. He may have shortcomings. And for Bello Matawali, I think, in my opinion, though it may not be, he was probably said because of the role he played during that Kashimba. He, together with Erufai and Ganduje and Yellow, were on forefront fighting President Buhari and the CBN then. That was the reason he was rewarded. So if I did among the ex-governors, Erufai and they were not nominated, I would have one man protest because they have paid their dues. If you understand powers these governors wield, putting them on this first tier is the best solution. Then if by president is coming for second tenure, then perhaps it can people. But if you decide that it is their own stooges that are ruling and you refuse to put them, you will be having a lot of problems. So it's a wise one that he got those who actually worked. Honestly, we have to be beam our satellite on our governors like we are doing with the federal government. Yes, these guys with whatever they do at state level, nobody question them. Like now, Federal shared almost 950 million naira in June, right? Many state governors, apart from and I think those and which other state again that make any concerted effort to their workers. So we have to beam a dog over concentrate on the center. We have to deflate that their excess over bloated ego.
All right.
Yes, they cannot assisting the government at the center. Bless our country. God bless our leaders. God guide our leaders. God bless our station, Nigeria Info. Thank you. God bless.
God bless you. Thank you. Welcome. Morning. Welcome. Go ahead, Nduka.
Yeah. Good morning, studio. Yeah. It's talking about bringing back some former or from former politicians over the decade. It cannot stop now. I just as the guest said, it's more or less the compensation for those who work for him. Just like look at what the last speaker said now with Erufai. They fight for that route that they brought, mostly I and Matawali. The first one, not the case. You must compensate them with. So such a thing shouldn't be happening. Those are compensation. You have professors. What would it mean? You're supposed to be able to find and change the economy for us. They are compensating people who help to win elections.
All right.
Like this. Some people think government for no forward going, well, stagnant. You still want them to come back.
All right, Nduka.
No, go to school again. Well, people who know. Then the older remain there will take. You said it should be coming back.
Okay.
Let's pray.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you. This is Kingsley from Wuse.
Go ahead, Kingsley.
So, what I want to talk about, whether we like it or not, we cannot downplay the importance of the reward system when it comes to party politics. The idea that we thought Tinubu was going to pick technocrats from people who we do not know, people who are obviously not. But when you come to a party that you know this person party, and then pick the person for positions that party members will be angry about, I think it's completely wrong. And whether we like it, when it comes to Nigeria, we run a party politics that reward systems always go on in certain positions in the so I believe some of these are wrong, and whether we like it or not, party members must have reward. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome. I can barely hear. Hello. I can barely hear you. What you can do is we're having a hard time hearing you because your sound is a bit distorted. Good Hello.
Hello.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
Welcome.
Yeah, my brother. Most times I wonder where. My name is from Federal.
Welcome, Dave.
I used to wonder how serious in this country.
Hello, David. Go ahead.
By bringing in the system for many years, so I begin to wonder whether I'm going to achieve something that couldn't achieve in the past years. Speaking, I begin to wonder if it is a taboo to bring in new people to dance. Honestly speaking, I wonder what is happening in Nigeria. That's free administration. You see the OSs. People have been in the system. Some of them are the issue. They are still bringing them the system. Honest people that are there just to make the money grandchildren, not for the children. The children, and they continue to be in the system to place their children in all this new system and so on.
But David, if the children are capable in these positions, if they're competent and well educated and can deliver, don't you think the opportunity to do the same?
They see, Oga, they've trained their children. They're there. What for now? To have money for the children and great grandchildren. What do they want? They should go and what do they want in Nigeria?
Thank you. Now, let's get to this question about those who have petitions hanging there. Now, while El Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna State, was being screened, a senator raised a petition against him regarding or concerning security during his tenure as governor. And the president stated that was not the place time to raise that, and petitions for those who have petitions against them to the relevant agencies. Do you think that could be the confirmation of some persons who are being screened?
Of course, I think so. I think there's nothing like the right place. I mean, he's coming for to be, he's been appointed, been nominated to be minister in Nigeria, which is not a joke. That's, a respected office in Nigeria where you're called upon to serve the people. I felt that he should have been to react to some of these petitions because you're coming for screening. You're not coming for jamboree. You're coming where I think it down to the nature of our nation. That some Nigerians feel that senators from the opposition should have to ask relevant questions. It's not a joke. Being appointed a star is an office that comes with honor and respect, and it's an office that deals a lot from you. So you can't just walk in and say you're screening and then it's just like take a bow. That's why some Nigerians are basically not have Senate president, because it looks like from indications it's beginning to look the 10th assembly. It's going to be a rubber stamped assembly the way things are playing out, and Nigerians have to ask questions. Look, if you're coming in, certain necessary questions should be thrown at you. Questions relates to your track records, your man. I mean, he was governor of Kaduna State. We saw how things played out, issues of insecurity, Southern Kaduna issue and all that. These are questions that should be asked, because these are questions that would still keep on being around. I mean, look at the Senate president. There's no way you talk about him that people start Oga off your mic. It's necessary they come out to clear this. But when it's been it now looks like it walked into the Senate and they were just, and I told you this on this platform before, that this process is just going to be a walkover. Why? Because the opposition somehow they've been slipped, for instance. So it's just an APC. You just go in there and take a bow. But I mean,
we have the batch B screened as well. For the benefit of doubt, it'll be intense because senators would have been able to get feedback on how it went. I mean, we saw that the second day was more intense than the first day, maybe because of that they got. So things played out a bit different. Batch B, we might see same happen.
I think it will just be the same thing. It's Nigeria. One of the callers spoke about, this system, a party being in power and everything just going their way and all that. But for genuinely make it as a nation, I want to see a nation. If you're going for screening, you are someone nominated, you'll be uncomfortable. Certain questions that would be thrown to you. How do you explain people with lingering issues are being screened and questions are not being asked? Some people are even saying, even the people that are screening these people, some of also have corruption issues that happen. So I think it's worrisome, but for us to get right, I think we need to do things right. That's why some Nigerians are saying, look, you keep recycling the same people and you get different results. It's not going to work.
Back to more of your thoughts right here. Uzo Tony and Ross says the point that the opposition did not someone which ask very critical question. What is going on? And Sunday, Ikoro Kingsley on Facebook, we are doing the same thing and we expect different results, which is not possible. In a nation filled with intellectuals and technology, yet we bring back politicians who have been to power, and for God knows how. Sunday, Kingsley, Ikoro right there. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr.
Welcome.
I'm Isa Kateri. I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome. Go ahead, please.
Hello? Okay. Just a...
About that, if you can, do well to call back, sir.
Hello, good morning.
Welcome.
This is Jamil Mutaku.
Go ahead, Jamilu.
You see, ministerial appointment, you work with politicians. Because people keep on saying that Mr. President will do. Who are the new people? They can just go from the street and pick anybody new and it didn't work for him. Understand the fact that it's politics. You have to pay the people that work for you. I said with ministerial nominee, but the only thing that you have to look for technocrat politicians that can give you the result. But you're saying that these people that will not bring them. If you say that you're not supposed, is he going to bring that we don't? Nigeria is a global village. Anybody that is the president, somebody must know, and you must be somewhere before you become minister. So because these people hold some position in the country, you said that they will not pack. Then what are the benefits of the suffer before him being a president? Are we not here in this country that they brought a education minister that did not work for the president and did not even have the masses in heart? What did it happen in our sector? So these politicians, they are politicians. They after the ministerial, you look for somebody, and it's going to be benefit because you have political ambition. You work the portfolio that gave you, so that it won't back to the masses. They will ask you, as what did you do? Now you are looking for something.
Now, when you ask them as governors, what did they do? Able to use that against nominating them for being as ministers? If they're unable to show anything while they were governors of various states.
Yes. Out of them, we can choose people that we know that at 3. When you look at Wiki,
there's 9 of them, Jamilu. There's 9.
Erufai, he show you have something. Kaduna before Kaduna, you have something to show. And still along, Governor of Plateau State, Plateau is always in crisis, but that has to manage peace for the period in government. So we choose the good ones. We don't allow them to work. But when some of them are bad, then what are we saying?
Some of them are bad. We're just trying to understand if it's. But go ahead, finish your thought.
When you look at the reaction of us, the callers, that yes, you are a former governor, then you are with you. I didn't in that school of because when you look at you are good, come, you help identify where your strength is.
Right.
And that.
All right, Jamilu.
If you are not good, that you are not good when you are performing. If you can be able now, that they give you second chance, it's for us.
Okay, thank you. Good morning.
Itodo, good morning.
Welcome.
I hope you will give me as much time as you gave the last.
Let's try this. Go ahead.
This is Mary from Ghana.
Welcome.
I keep wondering when you people ask why opposition did not ask the person who asked the question asked Erufai about the security petition that is. Did you hear the Senate President to talk? The Senate President did not allow him to. He told him that they were not doing partisan politics. So how will opposition put to task when the Senate President does not give them the opportunity to ask questions? He asked the question. He said he has a petition, and he wants to ask him about Senate President said we are not doing partisan politics here. So how? Why are you in opposition? Somebody is heading the Senate and is the one presiding over the affairs of the Senate.
Well, Mary, what he said is the petitions for anyone who has any would be movement agencies to take charge of petitions.
Okay, what about the one he said that things about the security, don't for them, they are not here to interview people. They are just to screen them. The relevant will. Is it not the Senate that should ask? If you have Erufai came out to say that he is Islamic Muslim, whatever he said, it wasn't in hiding. And everybody had authority threats. Even if they will consider him as minister, let them ask questions. That's a second view now, so that he can explain and perhaps from the opposition he had before. Right. They won't allow you ask. They won't talk because it's bar and go. When they say them, they complain. They say that all of them are robbers.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir. Itodo.
Welcome. What's your name?
Our guest. Good morning.
Good morning.
This man out there from Kuba Federal.
Go ahead.
I don't know where some of our callers.
Everyone has got a right to their opinion. You can just go on and share your own thoughts as well.
If I do in Kaduna State, if I work in Kaduna, why you lose one from in that election? In Valencia, you lose in senatorial, lose out of 15 House of members. You win 10 out of 20 House of members. If you win 20, I tell you, if I work, what you work, I do controversial.
Well, conversation is not about just Erufai, it's about governors becoming ministers. Let's focus on one person. There are other people there as well.
That said when I was in government, I said, I an event, it didn't have to be a minister. Is it the only that work for the there's no anybody in that state. There's the lecturers, there's someone that have experience for the coffee, and both people are state. Go back to Abuja now. I'm continuing selling because they work for the party.
All right, thank you. So let's look at it as well, because we seem to be focusing on just two. We have Atiku Budo of Kebbi, Simon Lalong of Plateau, Adegboyega Oye Oshun, Ibrahim Gaidam, Yobe, Yesom Wike of Rivers, David Umahi, Ebonyi, Obaka, Badaru, Jiga, and Nasser El Rufai of Duna, not forgetting Bello Mata of Zamfara. So 9 together. I wonder what name they'll give themselves if they get eventually, because we're used to giving ourselves tags when we get into, we had a G5, we don't have 3. So maybe a new, for the old boys.
Oyetola, he was governor of Osun. You know how things played. The whole tribunal drama and all that, and then he wasn't re-elected. So people also feel this is also a compensation. But then you'd ask, how was his performance? There were a lot of issues. In fact, he handed over the governor Adeleke came out to state clear some of his aides made some of the official vehicles that actually to the government, and it was said that the government was actually looted dry to things, spoons and plates and things like that. What Nigerians felt was actually embarrassing. If you want to talk about track records, if you about performance, some Nigerians actually have questions to ask when it comes to his nomination, but it's looking more like it's compensation, and I think it's that's not what we want Nigeria. We want to see people nominated based on track record, based on performance. One of the callers was saying, so if it's not these politicians who look, we have Nigerians even in the diaspora are doing well. Some of the best hands are Nigerians. If you talk about medical doctors, we have experience. And someone also spoke about having professors in universities. People that economics that are very intellectually sound. We can try this. I'm not saying you shouldn't politicians, but you should have a mix. We can't keep on having the same politician hovering around the corridors of power for 25 years, and then you're still bringing back.
If they're going to delete,
yes, that's what I'm saying. But then if I'm saying if they've been hanging around, it means we're also talking their track record. So if you look at all and put them together, I feel it should be a blend. Some of the politicians and some new.
But we've seen that. We've seen some new younger people as well, as young as 36 to make that list.
But these same people have also around power. For instance, if you talk about that 36, one of the nominees from Cross River State, she was a commissioner of health in Cross River State, become the women leader of the APC. Yes, I understand she's fresh, but that's what we want to see. We want to learn, but still having the same people around. For some Nigerians,
it's the same old thing. So in 20 seconds, this up real quick. So 15 seconds now. To wrap up your thoughts, do you think this nomination to the political agenda of the nation? 10 seconds.
Basically, it does. Mr. President actually knows people, one-on-one, so he believes in the ability. Despite what Nigeria think, our ideas, thinking like some of these people have been around, I think Mr. President actually has gone for people he's come with, people he thinks
that's a good place
work with.
To the station. Thank you so much, Nsikak Fanfei, being on the show today.
This is an announcement.
My name is Elder Emma Okoro. I'm interested in rebuilding my nation, and so I have to join the beginning of cleaning of the environment. The key environment here is totally filthy and unhealthy for people. So when Mayor Fortune decided that Abuja should come out, I decided to join because it's for the good of our people, our children, our wives,